defense analysis has always been about what's next. And that's a conversation that Gordon McCormick and I began in the 1980s when we were both still at the RAND Corporation. And from his perspective as someone who was chasing after insurgents in the Andes, and from my perspective as a person who wondered about how technology was going to change the world, we came to the conclusion that irregulars, terrorists, insurgents, transnational criminals, and other kinds of networks were going to be greatly empowered in the years to come. And Gordon had the idea of creating an educational program around this. And to its great credit, the Navy, and partly because of the energy of then Commander and later Admiral Bill McRaven, the Navy came to the conclusion that this was a worthy endeavor as well. So Gordon and I made our way up to Monterey, and we began, and we're roughly 30 years into this enterprise, and I think it breaks down into decade-long chunks. In our first decade, we focused to a great extent on the problems of irregular warfare, the rise of terrorist networks. And thankfully, I think we contributed well to preparing ourselves for the various campaigns of the post 9/11 era. In our second decade, we broadened out our what's next discussion to include the implications of the information revolution for military strategy and organization and doctrine. We developed the Department of Defense's Information Operations Center for Research. And we, of course, continued to do our work in special operations, irregular warfare, counterterrorism, this time with the addition of network analytics and other cyber techniques. And so this was, I think, a significant addition. In our third decade, I think what we did is put all of that together, both the irregular warfare, the information strategy, with a new approach that's reflected in our curriculum on applied design for innovation. We know that the United States is no longer in a position simply to outspend its opponents and potential rivals. And so we have to think innovatively, we have to design carefully. And I think this will help to prepare us for the emerging new era and great power competition as we begin to think like designers, not just of products or weapons, but design of whole systems, which means using the technology in ways that may inform organizational redesign, as well as military doctrinal innovation.